Hey everybody, this is Sam with Turn 1 Magic, and I swear I'm not like just setting this up. Ancestral Recall again with another Swiss draft. Make sure I'm recording real quick. And I'm gonna take a quick second to turn the sounds off because alerts general. Because it gets kind of annoying when every time you make a pick you hear it's like, alright, we get it. Good job me. But yeah, this is a really good pack. Grave Titan, Tezzeret, Prophetic Flamespeaker, Blade Splicer, Council's Judgment, Drain Hermit, Fencer, Recurring Nightmare, Mirror Battlesphere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's something is going to come back. Hopefully, I'll be in its color when it does come back, but there's no world where I ever take anything but Ancestral Recall here. This pack is a lot less exciting. I might just take Force of Will and keep on taking blue cards. Or I could take this Isochron Scepter early, but Isochron tends to wheel, and I don't really love it anyways. You just need to really build your deck around it, and there's so many times where you can't really afford to wait to get to 4 mana, and if you don't get to 4 mana, they just destroy it and you get 2 for 1 off of something that would just be a 1 for 1 anyways, otherwise. So, I'd rather. This always happens. But, you know, I want to draw a lot of blue cards. I want to counter. And I know this is like not the most exciting thing to always see me drafting blue decks, but blue is the strongest color in Powered Cube. And Ancestral Recall is probably one of the strongest cards you can get, despite color. And then protecting anything I want to do with a Force of Will with the broken cards that I have is just really good. I mean, if I was to get like Tinker, I'd be kind of regretting passing Inkwell, but I don't really regret passing anything else out of that pack. This is a little more just jarring because there isn't really a good blue card in here. There's a sword which is pretty good. I mean, it's really really good, but I don't know if I'm maybe playing a lot of creatures. I tend to do a lot, so I should probably just take this. There's a Solemn which is kind of nice. Keeps me open. Tolerant is not really my favorite, and I don't think anyone sees this as a signal that blue's open. I don't know how you can really afford to run Tolerant in a Powered Cube at 4 because it's just such a tight spot. Probably one of the tightest spots in Cube in terms of to fit a card, and Tolerant is just really subpar a lot of the time. Even though he's pretty good with what I have, there are a lot of better things I can be doing for 4. In terms of colored cards, I guess this is okay for a red card, but I don't really want to just jump into red right now. I'd rather just kind of give it one more pack and get a better, clearer signal in terms of what's open. And assume that I'm probably going to be playing some number of creatures. Yeah, so blue is definitely extremely open. Treachery is incredible. It's free. Control magic. If I have that plus the Force Wall, that's very good. I can pitch it a Force Wall in a pinch. This is a really good pack, though. Jesus. If there wasn't a Treachery, it's probably still Mana Leak because it does stop like everything else in here, and it's another blue card. Keeps on cutting blue cards, but the Ralzeric's really good. Bitter Blossom's good with the sword I just took. Geist Saint Trapped is very nice. These 2 red cards are great finishers. The Crucible can work well with a lot of different things. Lotus Cobra, strong in the green deck. Signet is very good too, and if these 2 blue cards weren't here, I mean, I don't know if I would take Signet, but Treachery is just insane. I can't not take it. Let me make sure I'm recording one more time. I'm just kind of freaking out. Okay, so I am. Out of this pack, this is a lot less exciting. I don't really want to take another 5, but if I get opposition, I'll be happy I had the Moloku. It's like fine as like one of your only finishers because you can get some kind of mitigation, not mitigation, but you can get some kind of insurance that you'll have something left over if you make a bunch of 1/1s off it. Kira's Downfall is okay, but kind of a little too black intensive. I like Mishra's Factory too, but I'd rather take a pretty good blue card. I really like playing blue in Powered Cubes. It's just what it comes down to. There's no reason to try to abandon this Ancestral Recall right now. Do I just go into like blue-white deck number 1,000,000? Or maybe I take this Shriek Maw and like maybe do something a little different. It's a little easier to cast. It has evasion. I can get it back with the Sword of Light and Shadow. It has like two forms as well. It's perfectly fine as a really bad terror. But a terror you can also do something like I could Venser it, or I think Crystal Shards in this cube. But white could be way more open with the Path and the Hero. But I like having a creature version of something. I mean, of that kind of removal spell. Jeez, I don't know if this is the right pick, but I'm gonna just take it and kind of see what happens from here. It's not really a 5 either. Now, if I think I'm playing blue-black, the Drowned Catacomb would be pretty good, but I really like Frost Titan. But I don't know if I really want to play Frost Titan, but it's a pretty good finisher, but I don't... this is tough. I'm glad I didn't take either of the white cards, because I don't know if I really want to be playing Imposing Sovereign. Though it's not bad, it's pretty good. I'm going to just keep on cutting like pure blue cards and hope I don't regret not taking the fixing. But it's not like Shriek Maw is really hard to cast, and this is a Braids deck. Maybe it might be a Braids deck. I don't know. Or maybe I just want Underground River. Because I don't really know if I'm going to be playing Braids. If I wield that Bitter Blossom, that would suck to not have the Braids, but I might want the fixing more. Or maybe the Braids ends up being really good. I do have a Meloku. I'm going to try taking Braids here over the fixing. A lot of different types of fixing with the Silverblade Paladin. I don't know, I'm going to try blue-black. Maybe this is what I want to be doing. Yeah, so that's incredible. This is shocking. I think I have to take Recurring Nightmare over Grave Titan. That might seem insane, but I already have two pretty good creatures with the Recurring Nightmare. I have the Braids, which can sacrifice things to the Nightmare. I can build around it a lot better. It really sucks to pass a Grave Titan, but Recurring Nightmare is just one of those cards that's so fun to play with and build around. It's insane that 5 of these cards that I considered as like the top 8 cards in this pack came back. But I'm glad I'm taking black cards now. Though none of these are really exciting. I guess maybe I'll take Isochron Scepter and like maybe it does something nice. I like it more than Dral's Messenger. Maybe I want to play the Dral's Messenger, but I'm never going to be able to cast it in this deck. Though I don't really like Isochron. I almost would never play Isochron in any deck. In a lot of different decks that I would play. I know Never and Absolutes aren't good, but it's not my favorite. Tolerant, I guess. Maybe I side in the Disenchant. I always like having a Disenchant. I just really don't like Tolerant. I think it sucks. Maybe Crucible's pretty good. I like it over the Arbiter. So blue kind of dried up, but I did get a lot of pretty good blue cards. And I got Treachery really late, too. That's something to consider. Massacre is really good coming out of the sideboard. Wow. Okay, so maybe white is the actual color I want to be instead of... I don't know. Hero Bladehold always goes so late. I don't really get it. But I like what I have going on right now. This kind of blue-black... awesome do things with stuff. And I know Shriek Maw isn't a 3, but I don't have a 2 yet, so it'd be nice to get a 2. Enforceable is kind of a free card, so it's kind of deceiving right there. Do I like this deck? I don't know. It can do powerful things. I'd like to crack more power. That'd be nice. That Bitter Blossom would be nice too, but it's not. I don't know. It's not like necessary. Not gonna make or break this deck having the Bitter Blossom or not. It's not like the craziest deck, and maybe I should have gone like blue-white instead, but I feel like the Grave Titan and the Recurring Nightmare means I was doing the right thing. Seeing both those cards late seems like a pretty clear signal. Or is this pack is a pile of junk? There's nothing I really want here. Maybe Wasteland. Maybe I take the Trinket Mage and assume that maybe I'll get... Not assume, but hope that I get some kind of Moxen and make this a lot better. Or perhaps like Skull Clamp would be good with it. I like Wasteland, but I don't pick it as high as a lot of other people do. Because when it doesn't have anything to target, when you have a bunch of basics or cards that like you can't really not afford to, but are subpar to hit with the Wasteland, it's just pretty bad. Strip Mine is so much better than Wasteland. Though when Wasteland is good, it's great. I don't think I can start taking white cards. I mean maybe the Restoration Angel is better than the Trigger Mage, but it worsens the body, which is I would never play it though if it was just a 2/2 for 3. The Grave Robber is okay, but it could wheel. It's not that exciting. I don't know if this is really the best pick, but I'm gonna go with it anyways. Should have waited a couple more seconds in terms of seeing what they're gonna pick and pass. So maybe Vidalcan Shackles here? These packs have been pretty bad for me. But Shackles is good. If I'm pretty heavy into blue, which it seems like I'm going to be, I'll play some number of islands to make this good. And I'll have to value Underground Sea and River, and not River, Underground Sea and like Water Grave and things like that. This is a pretty good pack though. Not really actually, this pack's pretty sucky. Maybe, I mean, Animate Dead's good, but I already have like, I'm not really like an Animate Dead type of deck so much as the, kind of like a, I don't really know what I'm trying to do here. I guess more of like a creature deck that can kind of go off with Recurring Nightmare sometimes. Hopefully we'll do a lot better in the future. But yeah, Shackles is strong. I like Vidalcan Shackles quite a bit. Backrat's good. It's a 2-drop. It can fuel my Recurring Nightmare. It can win games on its own. It's not as good in Powered Cube, but it's still quite strong. Like, turn 2 and then like on my attack, discarding like the Frostite, and then maybe like Recurring Nightmaring it back or what have you. These have been some pretty disappointing packs so far. Like, even if I wasn't doing this deck, like almost none of these cards are great. Like, there's the Dak Faden, which is, it's cool, but I'm nowhere close to that. The Containment Priest could potentially wreck me, which sucks. The Pack Rat is very good with Braids. I can't really forget that. Hopefully this Braids performs pretty well. I guess Disfigure is okay. The Signet's alright, but I don't really love off-color Signets. I don't know. There's nothing really great here, honestly. This has been really sucky. Entomb? No, I don't really care about that. Una's Prowler? Jesus, what's happening here? Man. Entomb has the highest ceiling in terms of letting me do busted things, but I already passed the Animate Dead, so it's like, it's not likely that Animate Dead, bless you, it's not likely the Animate Dead will come back, but it's not like super unlikely either. But I don't really like playing Una's Prowler either. I'd almost, because it's pretty unreliable in combat. It's not really doing a lot in this deck, so yeah, I'll take this and maybe I can do something gross with it later. There's still a lot of cards to see left. So there's the Urborg. But this might be a Memory Lapse deck instead. I mean, the Urborg's cool, but I could potentially wheel it, whereas the Memory Lapse is probably going to be pretty good in this deck once I get to a lot of mana. I would love to open like a Soul Ring next pack or something like that. Maybe get some more creatures that do things. Right now I have 5 creatures, really. But yeah, Memory Lapse is good. It's a good counter. Easier to cast, which is good for the 2-color decks with the pretty poor mana bases, like this one has. Lingering Souls is nice. But yeah, I'll take that. This is a tougher pick, but I think because we have the Vidalcan Shackles, the Water Grave becomes a lot better. than something like the Thoughtseize, but Thoughtseize is a pretty strong and kind of a unique effect in terms of picking at their hand, and I can do it on myself if I need to. But I like kind of ensuring that my mana is good, and I can potentially get a Duress, which kind of has the same type of effect. I don't really know if this is the right choice here, but I like having good mana base, so I'm going to take the Water Grave. And another pretty bad pack. Diabolic Edict is okay. I like it better than Massacre Worm, but Massacre Worm could be good too because I already passed a Grave Titan, so I don't know how many late effects they're gonna be. But the Diabolic Edict is good against like the Tinker decks that can absolutely wreck you. It's a card I can easily side in or side out depending on where it lands. Yeah, I'll take the Edict. I've never been like super in love with Massacre Worm, so I think the Edict might be better. I should have played white. This deck is not very good. Maybe I can get something white to splash this Vindicate. Maybe Smokestack is what I want to be doing. Though I already have like the Braid, so I don't know how good Smokestack is here. You know, I'm never going to play Carnifage probably. Vindicate is kind of pushing it, and maybe the Smokestack seems pretty good at some spots. At this point, I'll happily play the Grave Robber. Though the Wasteland did come back too, but man, jeez. Look at these green cards, they look really good. But I'm pretty happy playing Grave Robber. He can take over games pretty well. He's another creature, which is good. So yeah, sure, we'll take him. And then I guess this Bloodline Keeper is okay. It kind of works with the Braids. And maybe the Smokestack if that becomes a card that I want to play. I don't really love anything else in here. Sure, whatever. Disfigure is a good sideboard card and I'm happy to have it. Maybe main deck it, but probably not. Most likely I would splash for white cards because that's the easier second or third color I have in here, so Sin Collector, sure. Yeah, maybe white thing. I think I would have a pretty good White Weenie deck, but I don't really like White Weenie as an archetype in Cube, at least in Powered Cube. I think it's a lot better in the Legacy Cube that they had about a month ago. Here, it's just there's so many decks that can do way more broken things than 1-drop, 2-drop, 3-drop. They kind of laugh at you and go infinite on you or have way better cards earlier on. So yeah, happy to have Mox. It's very good. There's nothing else in here I'd come close to considering over Mox. Like, the blue cards are not first pickable. It makes my Trinket Mage actually playable, which is nice. I mean, there's some good white cards. I mean, I'd probably play the Misty Rainforest as well. Or any blue fetch for that matter. Any black fetch too. I don't know, this pack isn't that great. But yeah, Mox Ruby is though, so we'll take that. I think this... Jeez. Vampiric Tutor is an insane card. Not insane, but it's very, very strong. But the Baleful Strix, I think, works a lot better with what I'm trying to do. Recurring Nightmare with Baleful Strix is really, really great. Draws me a card. I mean, Vampiric Tutor does find me the Recurring Nightmare, though, and finds me Ancestral Recall. Finds me all my super sick bombs. And Baleful Strix could wheel as well. But I don't know. It just works so well with what I want to be doing. It blocks, it can wear the sword. This is probably like the one of the worst picks I've ever made, but I just think the Baleful Strix is a lot better for what I want to be doing. Even though Tutor, oh man, I don't know. That's a tough one. This one is not though. Muldrifter is very, very good. Draws you cards. It's insane with Recurring Nightmare. It flies. It can be a divination in a pinch, and sometimes divination turns into a really good card. If there's no Muldrifter, I would consider him, though him is a lot less good in this deck because I'm playing a Mox Ruby, plus it's more of a blue-based deck than a black-based deck. The Revoker is okay too, but I'm not in love with it. Seeing balance kind of sucks, but, whatever. This deck can fight through balance. But yeah, Muldrifter's extremely strong. So I'm pretty happy to have it. Can we just get like a different pack? I don't like any of this. Maybe if I like splash white for some insane reason. No, I would never want to do that. If I'm not playing Geralf's Messenger, I'm definitely not playing Phyrexian Obliterator. So let's just scrap that idea right off the bat. But I'm not playing Tendrils. There's no world where I'm playing either Garruk or Kiora. What card is just like the most annoying that maybe I could splash for? I guess maybe this Mom becomes a thing I could do. I don't really want an Aether Vial. I don't like Aether Vial, but I can grab it with my Trigger Mage, but by the time I'm at 3, I don't really care about Aether Vialing. Aether Vialing is really only a great play when you do it in turn 1. I don't know if that's great or not, but whatever. Force Spike over Go for the Throat? And Mesarch Fiend, but mostly it's Force Spike and Go for the Throat. I have the Shriekmaw plus like Diabolic Edict. What's the better card? I think I like the Force Spike better. I mean, if I really need more removal, I can play this Disfigure, whereas it's kind of a unique effect, the Force Spike. Oh man, what a treat. Sower. Very good here. Extremely happy to have it. I like the Necromancy as well. The Sphinx is kind of cool. Sorin, Hallowed Fountain, but I'm not going to play any of the white cards. Pretty firmly blue-black right now, and Sword of Temptation is pretty strong. It's good against like the really broken strategies. Like if they somehow get the Sphinx out, I can play Sorin and take it. Yeah, I'm really happy to have it. It's very, very good. Because I passed... Maybe I just play Maze of Ith. I think Maze of Ith is a pretty underrated card. And it kind of keeps me alive a lot longer. Though Inquisition is also very strong. And I did pass the Thoughtseize earlier, so I'm not going to get one of those effects. I don't really have a way to get the Maze of Ith. If I had the Tutor, I think the Maze of Ith might be better, but Inquisition could be better too. I do like ways of picking out their hand. And a lot of the cards that stop Recurring Nightmare can be hit by Inquisition, so I think I talked myself into it. Yeah, Necrotal's good. Not great. Might not play it. But I like it better than Another Void. A lot of good red cards in here. Siege Gang, Wheel of Fortune, Johnny Vengeant. I think Necrotal's pretty good though. I don't know if I'll definitely play it in this deck because the mana's kind of with the Vedalken Shackles, but it's fine. I can play it in a pinch and be happy to do so. Now, am I really gonna like siding these white cards in? Probably not. So I don't know how great Isolated Chapel is compared to like Kira. Because I can still combo off, I think, around. Yeah, it's sacrifice a creature. So I can still combo off with the Kira in play and go around, like, with the Recurring Nightmare. At this point, I'm pretty close to not playing the Diabolic Edict. It's just pretty subpar. Two Wraths, so I'm not too worried about that. And this could be a pretty good sideboard card against, like, the control decks. Same with Bloodghast. Should have been white. If someone is playing, like, Show and Tell, Phyrexian Obliterator is actually really good there. A lot better than anything else in this pack. This is great. I can just put this in, take out the Edict, side the Edict in when it's a lot better than my removal spells. 1, 2, 3. My mana is kind of sketchy as hell if I want to be playing Vedalken Shackles, but if I'm going like, I guess Exalted Angel's a lot scarier, though. No one's playing white, so I think this deck is pretty good. It's not like too busted, but if I can start going off with Recurring Nightmare, I can do some silly things with, like, how good is this Recurring Nightmare? I guess like the Baleful Strix. I can kill their stuff and I can draw a bunch of cards, and I can tap down their whole board with the Frost Titan, which is nice. A good amount of creatures. And I am happy main decking this Nezumi Grave Robber. It's a lot better than people give it credit for, I feel. No, but do I want to main deck the Inquisition? I think I'm okay with that. Because all my black cards, I don't have any blue cards in the sideboard. I took every blue card I saw. Now, should have I maybe played black-white? Yeah, maybe, but I'm not like the biggest fan of black-white. It has a dearth of ways to draw cards and gain card advantage outside of black, and black usually hurts itself while doing so. Whereas, I mean, and I also have like friggin' Ancestral Recall. Like, that card's just gross. Why would I ever not play it? But it seems like if I'm going to be doing sideboarding, a lot of what's going to happen is I'll probably bring in the Disfigure, the Diabolic Edict, the Short Fang a bunch, and maybe like Phyrexian Obliterator or this Dral's Messenger against maybe slower decks, but Dral's Messenger seems... Messenger, Obliterator, Bloodghast, Gatekeeper seem pretty mana intensive, with Bloodghast being the least mana intensive, with maybe not the highest ceiling, but it's good against like the decks it's going to be really good against. I'm not in love with just running Smokestack into this deck, even though I do have a couple ways to make tokens. I think Smokestack is better, and Massacre is really good coming out of the sideboard. Smokestack is good coming out of the sideboard. I can play this Cackler against. So it looks like I like the shell that I have, and I feel like I can go in a lot of different directions with my black sideboard, my black and colorless sideboard. And, you know, if someone is playing like Time Vault combo and I'm feeling insane, I can play like Caves of Kolios, a Plains, and no, that seems bad. Well, let's see what they're gonna suggest for mana. 8, 7. 7, 8, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 8 for 13 seems pretty subpar. And then 9 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, so this mana is super bad. But 8 for... You know, I might not run the Inquisition main deck and, like, kind of alleviate my mana a little bit, because, jeez. Play, like, maybe an extra island. Or an extra swamp. Because I have 4 black symbols on my second turn that I really want to play every time. So 8 and 8 may be the number I want, minus a swamp. Though I do want a lot of islands. And I don't really mind playing a lot of lands in this deck, because The lands either fuel late game recurring nightmares or whatnot, but I'm not in love with it either. This is a pretty plain Jane deck, but it could do some pretty exciting things as well. But if anyone goes like any sort of, I don't know, maybe I need the Inquisition. But it can be a pretty awful draw too. 8 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 11, 12, 13. 8 for 13. Is that good enough? And 9 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 9 for 15 with like an emphasis on the Dalkin Shackles. 9 Islands good enough for Dalkin Shackles? Yeah. You know, it's not the worst. 8 for 13. Not really great, but it's not the worst either. And for the most part, I just really need like one swamp, and then I'll probably draw my second one at some point. And Necrotal doesn't have to be played right away. Like, is this really what I want to be doing? Let's see. 18th land or Inquisition of Kozilek? I don't think any of these are good enough to run. There's this figure, the Edict. I mean, the Edict's okay, but I have a good amount of removal, and like the Edict's really good against some decks, and it's really, 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 really bad against others. I don't really want to play Short Fang main deck. Tomb seems bad. Smokestack seems kind of iffy. And I already have the braids for that. I'm pretty happy that I have the Baleful Strix over the Vampiric Tutor. It seems like it's pretty good in this deck for what I want to be doing. And while Tutor would be nice, like, I don't know, Baleful Strix is just like one more thing to make that Recurring Nightmare really, really good. And I obviously didn't get that much more to go with it, so I'm pretty okay with that. And I'm also pretty okay with running Kira main deck, because even though that's kind of a very specific card as well, I don't really have a lot of ways to target my own things other than the sword, and there will probably be times where if I'm sorting and attacking, I can afford to play 2 twice or whatever. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna try this and just kind of hope that like this Inquisition doesn't seem horrible. But I feel like I'm gonna be taking Inquisition out a lot. Though I don't know, maybe not. There are a lot of like cheaply costed spells. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with this, and I think it's a pretty good deck. So not the craziest deck, but I have some powerful things I can do early on. I have Ancestral Recall too, and once I start going off Recurring Nightmare, I can really take over some boards. I just draw my entire deck and say thank you. Yeah, okay. Probably go straight into round 1, I'd have to imagine. Yep, alright. Let me, I'll get the first round up in a second.